Are you a South African musician trying to figure out what you need after a recording session? Welcome to this episode where I plan on demystifying just that. Now, to be clear, this episode will just give you 5 things to remember when you go to a recording session and what to get after that recording session. The very first thing that you want to remember when you're going to a recording session is you want to pay for the session. No matter who it is, even if it is your friend, you want to pay somewhat for the session. The reason you want to pay is if you do not pay for the session, the person who pays for the session owns the masters to the song. You will still own the composition side of things, so the SAMRO side of things, but they will own the masters. What does this actually mean? They actually have the right to release the song on distribution, so put the music out on Spotify, etc. So no matter what, make sure you pay for the session. The very next thing is you want to make sure you get a clean version and an explicit version, or if you don't have an explicit version, then this doesn't apply to you. You want to have a clean version for radio, etc., and an explicit version if you have swear words, if you have things that are considered not clean for radio or for children, then you want to make sure that you get clean and explicit versions. The third thing that you want to make sure that you get at a recording session is multiple versions and stems from the song. So examples of multiple versions, you want to have an a cappella version where you get rid of the instrumental and it's just your vocals. The reason you want this is for remixes, so make sure you get your a cappella version. You want to have a performance version where you can perform with the backing. Sometimes I call this a karaoke version as well, where they take out the main vocal and they just leave the ad-libs and some sections of your backing vocals. The reason you want this is so that you are able to perform your song and a karaoke version, so that if there is a karaoke, you put your song karaoke version up on YouTube, for example, and you can perform your karaoke version at another venue. The fourth thing that you want to remember, if possible, try have an artist/session contract written up for your sessions. You pay this once off to get a template, so go on a Google search to find session artist contracts, and then you try modify it accordingly, or get a lawyer preferably to modify the contract so that you can give it to the recording engineer and the sound engineer, so that it is explicitly written out that they do not get a percentage from the masters, as you've already paid for the session as well. Number 5, last but not least, you want to make sure that you get 3 versions at least in different formats. You want an MP3 version with the highest bitrate, so this one is typically the one that you would upload into smaller-ish sites such as SoundCloud, etc. Reverb Nation is another example. And then you want a small version of the MP3. This one must be more or less than 5 megabytes. This is typically if you want to send to SABC radio stations and the compiler requests the song via email. Their inboxes can only take a maximum of 5 megabytes, so you want to have a small version that is less than 5 megabytes. Whatever bitrate that works, that would be ideal. And then last but not least, you want to make sure that you get wave versions, a wave version. And the wave version is typically the cleanest version most places use. If you can get another format known as AIFF, then you can get that, but I haven't come across many places that use that format. But make sure that you get at least those 3 version formats so you can be able to send your music without having to go back to the session. If you want to know how many streams you need to get 1,000 Rand, watch this video.